Hey everyone, thanks for joining. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I want to show you how to make this beautiful card. I stamped the background using the Floating and Fluttering stamp set, and this is actually a grouping, all one stamp, and then there are dies. I didn't really use the dies to cut out the whole set of them, but you can cut out actually two of them. So you can actually stamp and then cut out the whole grouping together, and they don't come apart. They are one grouping, or you can use these individuals, which is what I did for this one. And then the inside, I actually did the group and then I cut out the individual ones, but we'll get to that. So it's really pretty. You can use any colors. You can stamp the outlines and then stamp the insides and then some accents. So you'll see there's a lighter and a darker color on them. So pretty cool. Let's get started. I have my pieces always cut out already. And the first thing I'll do is just stamp the butterfly. So let me get a piece of scrap, and I'm using the black Memento ink. And I have my stamp set all mounted up. And I'm just going to ink it up. And when I have a big stamp like this, I like to ink it this way so I can really get the ink on it. You might want to use your Stamparatus if you feel like you want to go down a couple of times to make sure it's nice and dark. And I'm just going to start kind of off the paper. And it might be hard to fit everything in. And you can fill it in if you wanted with a smaller kind of leaf stamp. So let's get this inked up again. And I'm just going to stamp this big image over and over and over again and try to fit it in as best I can. So it's kind of like a little puzzle here. Okay, I think that's good. If you did have some gaps, there's this little leaf you can put in between, but I think this is good. It doesn't have to be perfect. The other thing I want to do is just stamp an extra one that I'm going to cut out for this butterfly and the inside. So let's get that one inked up, and then we'll do all of our coloring. And every card will probably come out a little bit different. So it depends on where you start and how you fit them all in. So this one we'll use for those kind of extra ones we need. So let's get our coloring in done. So I'm going to do that with stamps, and I'm using Gorgeous Grape for the big butterfly. And there's just a solid piece, and I will stamp off. You could use Highland Heather and then Gorgeous Grape, but I'm just using the one ink, and you can do this technique with every one of them. You could just use one ink and stamp off first, and then you want to stamp the inside, which is kind of a funny piece, but you just line it up. It's great that it's photopolymer. And see, you have the light and the dark. So let's do all our big purple ones. And again, you can use whatever color you like. So we want to stamp off first, and then get the light shade. Stamp off. I talk to myself when I'm doing this because I don't want to forget to stamp off. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just look different than the rest of them. Okay. And go right off the page. And let's see, I think we have one more, maybe two more. Sometimes it's hard to tell which butterfly it is as you have it cut off a ways. There we go, just the bottom. Okay, and if you miss a little bit, see there's a little white, you can get your Stampin' Blend and just make sure it's clean. Pick up some ink and get some of the ink off because you don't want to make it darker. And you could just color it in, kind of dot it if that bothers you. If it doesn't, I don't think it matters really. And then you just want to wipe it until it comes clear so that you can use it for another color. Okay, now we want to do all the insides. So we use this one and just line it up. I think this is really pretty combination, the light and the dark. Okay. And I love butterflies. We do have quite a bit of butterfly sets, but they're all a little different, so I have to get them all. And this is our last one. Okay, so I think that's pretty. And we'll just put these aside and work on the smaller one. Now I did this one with Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie. Now you could do the Daffodil Delight and stamp it off again. But I wanted to do two different colors on this one. So see, if you stamped it and then stamped it off, you'd get this lighter color. But I'm just going directly on it. And I'll just do all of them. This is an easy way to color. Of course you can color with blends, but boy, this goes really fast. And you can use that inside piece to give it a little bit, I guess, more of a natural look. I think that's the other butterfly. Okay, so we're done with the Daffodil Delight. Let's get the Pumpkin Pie. I kind of went back and forth with Calypso Coral or Pumpkin Pie, and I decided on the Pumpkin Pie. So we'll see how this works out. And just line it right up. Isn't that pretty? We'll just get them all done. And one more. And I really went all over the place with colors. I was kind of playing around and trying to decide on the colors. Oh, let's do this little extra one. So let me get that Daffodil Delight out again. And I almost forgot about this one. But it's nice to just, you know, play with the colors, do the stamping off, or do two different colors and see what you come up with. Okay, so we're done with the orange and the purple. The next one I did was Balmy Blue. And I did do the stamping off with this one. So we will do, where is it? This one. Doesn't even look, it's just kind of a side wing. So a profile. So I want to stamp off, and then I want to stamp it on here. I think that's a really pretty blue for this. And you could even use, you know, a darker blue on top of it. Not many of these. Let's see. I think this is one. I think that's it. And then we'll do this one. Stamp it off. Okay. And then we'll do the inside of this one. And this is kind of a funny looking one. I don't know if you could see it, but it looks a little weird. But it just goes right along the edge. And it just gives it a little bit of darker color there. It's pretty cool. Not even sure if I need it on that one. I'll see what it looks like. Maybe just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then there are also the filler stamps for the leaves. So I did some in Pear Pizzazz and some in Mint Macaron. So this is the filler for the leaves. And we'll just go right over them. It's a little bit dark, but I think it's okay. And there's a little white showing, and you know, I think that's fine. Some of them have it and some of them don't. Depends on how accurate I am. And I'm not really over the camera here. I don't want my big head to be in the way. And there's one here. Now that one I did a little bit off. Let's see if I can fix it. Oh, good enough. And then trying to see what kind of leaf this is. I'll just, this end here. All right, one more. We'll do the mint macaron. And I'm not doing the leaves on this because I'm just going to cut out the butterflies. So we'll get this, and this has this little bits of leaves that go right on these. But I love the way it turned out, you know, like as you're building it, it's really pretty. And one more of these. Did I get them all? This one looks a little light on the bottom. I'm just doing the bottom. Okay. Looks like I have a little something there. I don't want to have any, you know, big left out white spots. So let me get this one back with this leaf. And I think it's this one right here. There we go. Does it look good? Am I missing anything? I think we're good for that. Okay. So what I will do is cut these out. So I'm going to take the dies and I'll cut each one out. So there's this one, and there's even this one, which I didn't try, which will also emboss it. There's some lines there, but I'll take this one and this one, and we'll cut this out. I'll have to do them separately because they kind of crash into each other. So I'm going to do that off camera. And then the other thing I want to do is get this white piece, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Now the sentiment I got is from the Happy Thoughts. I love this, thinking of you. And then on the inside, I just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. So I thought that was a good one. And I'm going to stamp it in the gorgeous grape. And this one I stamped the sentiment, because I'll tell you, I had a hard time getting this straight. So, you know, I don't put my stickers on. Some of them I should put it on. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, see how crooked it is? And then I use this frame for it. So I stamped the sentiment first so I could figure out how to do the frame, instead of trying to get the sentiment straight in the frame. But again, this one is one I should put my sticker on, because I think when I look at it, it looks straight from this way, but when I stamp it, it looks crooked. So it might just be me. So on this, since it's photopolymer, I can, and I want to put it to the side because I want to have the butterfly up here, this butterfly. You can have a different butterfly down here if you wanted it to go that way. So I know this looks a little crazy, but when I cut it, it will be fine. So this one has the die, and I'll cut this out with this die. And I'll probably put a piece of Post-it note on this because it's very tight. So sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. So if you get it right where you want it and see it goes right around the edge. And then just put a piece of Post-it note right over it. And then when you cut it out, it won't move. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to cut both of these out. And then the other thing is this little band I have. I was going to put ribbon, but I felt like it got lost. So I cut a piece of basic white. And then I embossed it with a Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. So it just gives it a little bit of texture there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have everything cut out, and I'll just pull this off. And we have our sentiment. And then I just wanted to point out, so I cut these separately, and the purple one and this yellow one kind of crashed into each other. So there's a little bit of a funny edge here. So whichever one you do first, the other one's going to have this little kind of funny edge. So I'm just going to cut it. Make sure there's no pointy ends there. Okay, so let's put all of this aside. We'll get rid of our dies, put them together, and then we can start putting our card together. So let's get this down, and you can decide which way. I guess we want the butterflies mainly facing up, so we'll put it this way. And let me just put some adhesive on. And the paper is Gorgeous Grape. I love Gorgeous Grape. I've been making really a lot of purple cards lately. I think it's the time of year. And then we'll take our embossed strip. So this is 1 inch wide by 4 inches across. And you can pick which side you want. And I'm going to actually do this with a little bit of glue, because I think with the embossed layers, it's good to get the glue in all the, I call them nooks and crannies. I just got glue on my table here, so on my mat, so I have to make sure I stay away from that. So I am going to put this down so I don't get in trouble. How's that? Because you know I'll put something right in the glue and then we'll be sorry. So now we want to put the sentiment. We want to put this down with dimensionals. So let me get some dimensionals. Okay, that should do it. And just pull off the backs. And get this right here. Now, if you wanted to put ribbon, you can certainly do that. And then I took this one and I put it down flat. I didn't want to have the butterfly up above, you know, sticking high. I wanted to just keep it flat on this. And then I took some of these opal rounds and I put them on. I put a large one down here with one of the smaller ones next to it, and then a smaller one up here. Okay, and then on the inside layer, and I think I'm going to do this a little bit different. This one I have the butterfly coming down. I think I'm going to only use one butterfly. So let me get the sentiment. And for this card, I don't always use a sentiment, you know, thinking of you, but I like this sentiment, so I thought this would be good. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And let's not do it upside down. And I will put it up toward the top. I just want to make sure I'm my paper is crooked, it's throwing me off. And just put that here. And then I want to put the butterfly right underneath it. Just right here. You could do it this way, whatever you like. And let me just get a little bit of glue on this. And then we put the inside in and we're done. So it's a fun card to make. I love these butterflies. I've had it for a while and I don't know. I'm going through my stuff, trying to see things that I haven't used. I end up buying all this stuff and then I don't use it all. I put it on the side and I forget about it. I have to get better at that. And you know, we're retiring this came out, and as a demonstrator, we got to see a sneak peek of the new catalog and do a pre-order today. Well, you'll see this tomorrow, but April 1st, we were able to pre-order some of the products. So you'll be seeing lots of new stuff out, whatever we were allowed to pre-order in the coming weeks, I guess. So these are the cards. I want to pull this up. I'm going to clean that off. But these are the two cards. I think they're really pretty, and I think this would really brighten up someone's day to let them know you're thinking of them. So thanks a lot for joining me, and have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.